Glenn, what can we all do? I mean, for those of us who believe that we are essentially losing to terrorists when we react the way that our country has, and we're giving them everything that they want, what can we do other than talk to folks like you and try to? I mean, as a society, or even sort of in our own neighborhoods, but what can folks do to take action to try to take our country back from this fear that the terrorists are banking on?
Well, this to me, David, is really the core of the problem, the core of the issue, which is if you have a minimally open society, you're never going to be able to prevent terrorist attacks. You can put in tons of security at airports to prevent people from boarding planes with bombs or guns, but what do you do about train stations or crowded shopping centers or public places like Times Square? You can never guard against terrorism sufficiently through security means if you intend to maintain even a minimal amount of freedom. So I think the question then becomes, why is it that there seem to be so many people in the world willing to risk their liberty or their lives in order to attack the United States this way, in order to bring violence to the United States? There are dozens and dozens of other countries that they're not attacking, including very free ones, countries with lots of freedom. And if you listen to the people who are doing these attacks or trying to do these attacks, what they say over and over is the same thing, which is the only reason we want to attack the United States is because you, the United States, have spent the last 12 years bombing our countries, invading and occupying our countries, torturing our citizens, killing innocent women, men, and Muslim children, and we feel that bringing violence back to you is not just fair, but the only way to deter what it is that you've been doing, this sustained aggression in our part of the world. And so if Americans want to start to think about how to eliminate these attacks, they need to start to wonder to themselves, why is it that the United States is a target? And the reason is that because we are bringing violence, huge amounts of civilian slaughter and violence, to numerous countries around the world that are predominantly Muslim and have been doing that for really more than a decade, many decades. And at some point, when you start attacking people, they're going to get to the point where they want to attack you back. And until we figure out how to undermine the motive that's driving these terrorist acts, I think that there really isn't much that we can do.
Glenn Greenwald is such a great point, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. There is a motive that we need to address, and then I would say that the second part of this is that we as a society, in addition to addressing the motive behind terrorism, have to decide, are we going to be a country that's going to live our lives based on fear? Is that what's going to drive us and dictate our lives? And right now, I think that's exactly the case, and it's a crying shame. Glenn Greenwald, a columnist in civil liberties for the Guardian, also former constitutional lawyer. Glenn, great stuff as always. Thanks for being part of Take Action News.
Good to talk to you, David. Thanks.
Glenn Greenwald, folks, he's one of the best, and he gets it. He totally gets it. We're going to continue with another guy who gets it, and that is a man who's been all over the he owns the issue of gun control and gun rights and knows the gun legislation. That's our own We Act Radio's Cliff Schechter. We're going to get to his take on some of what's been going on in the gun debate, and also an incredible and just ridiculous amount of hypocrisy from Republican Senator Ted Cruz. We'll talk about that next when Take Action News on We Act Radio continues.